Boris Johnson and David Frost have been accused of incompetence by furious Britons who claim the UK's top Brexit negotiators should have told the EU's Michel Barnier to get on his bike. The EU's Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier has sparked anger after he issued a stunning demand to negotiate fishing quotas every 10 years, meaning Britain would remain shackled to the EU despite voting to leave the bloc 4 years ago. But Britons hit back, saying it was time to shut the door on Brexit talks and tell Mr. Barnier to get on his bike. They also accused Mr. Frost and Mr. Johnson of incompetence and warned the pair not to back down against blackmail, coercion and bullying. One said, starting to look like Boris and Frost are incompetent in dealing with Barnier. They should have told him to get on his bike. I can see both of them rolling over to get a deal. I'm bloody fed up of hearing this week in and out time to shut the door. An Express reader added, the UK should walk away from the fake trade negotiations on the 2nd of December 2020 and revoke the Theresa May's EU withdrawal agreement, on the grounds of bad faith by the EU. We need a fresh start. Another said, Boris, if you do any such thing like giving the EU 10-year timelines to negotiate fishing access to British waters, you will be burned at the stake. You warned the EU that we would leave on WTO terms if they did not change their stance and unreasonable demands. Nothing has changed. The EU demands have not changed at all. They still think that they have the right to demand control of UK policy, possession and law that they would not dare demand of any other nation. Please stop this farce now. This is not a negotiation, it is the EU trying to force the UK to their will with blackmail, coercion and bullying tactics. You are making the British people extremely angry with this ongoing farce. End the negotiations now and prepare our businesses for WTO terms. You owe it to the British people to walk away from this so-called negotiation now. One posted, Boris Johnson, unfortunately, is giving the impression he is not a Churchillian leader. He sets deadlines and, just as we are told the EU is about to cave in, he gives another extension allowing the enemy a chance to regroup and review its strategy. It seems he is desperate for a deal despite telling us WTO, Australian terms are fine. Is he in the pocket of some top Tory supporters? As Brexit talks go down to the wire, Brussels bosses have demanded fishing quotas be reviewed after 10 years, which will be tied to the overall agreement.